This video is not only about networking and how to think out of the box and add value to your networking by, in my case, inviting people to a Game Audio BBQ that is attached to the Gamescom 2025, because I live next to Gamescom and I invited people to come here to my studio and have a barbecue with me, and that way I could connect way deeper with them, people that I have already in my network or people that I just got to know on Gamescom. Right away I invited them and they came. So this video is about this event, and you not only get an insight of how it actually turned out, but also we had a mentoring session in the studio and I'm going all over my work process as a Foley artist and the things that I see most valuable for people who want to start out recording better sounds in their home studios and Foley in general. So this video is for you if you're looking into that, recording better sounds, networking better, finding that dream clients of yours, working on the projects you want to work with. Enjoy. Hey, we're not alone. Yeah. Some people are in here already. Hello.
Hello. You're doing that for...
Hello.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it is that you have a high cut and a low cut. Low cut and high cut. So I can adjust that on the fly and it sounds very natural. So the main mics are the TLM 103 and the MKH 460. And then I have two more like effects channels. So I'm always trying to get that as close as possible to the surface. We could also use this surface in the same way. And then I can basically... It felt so great to have all these people here coming and helping to cut all the stuff for the burgers and then sitting down and eating. Of course, everyone also wanted to see the studio. In the end, turned out me giving a little masterclass to everyone who was there, explaining my workflow, what kind of gear I use, what is the most important thing I think if people want to record their own sounds in their home studios. And I also performed a little bit footsteps and showed things off that I think are valuable. So now let's dive into that. It's also too dirty. With that shoes, for example, it's very hard to get the dirt right because I don't have, they're so flat. I don't have any, there's no texture. It's like, there's
some grinding there, yeah?
It doesn't sound good. Mm-hmm. And also, if you want something more tight, more on point, then you can also use it snappy. You can also use a little bit of water, like for hospital or something. Okay.
Almost like tile type of.
Yeah. That would also work. But my trousers are just not Foley trousers.
Very nice.
Okay, let's do it. So basically I'm using all my joints that I have available, my hips, my knee, my ankle, and I try to, use the gravity as well. So I'm not only just pressing with my muscles, I'm lift the leg and then letting it go a little bit, and then when it like hits the surface, then I start pressing again. So
it drags a little bit.
Yeah,
almost.
it's more like to get this kind of impact right. But when I'm just pushing, you have no air in the impact. It's just like, yeah. So, and then I'm trying to make a melody. Like maybe I can get to 7 to 8 notes. And then it starts again. Yeah.
Lovely.
So, and the thing I have to practice the most now is to, when I perform 3 people, sometimes I catch myself that they sound all the same in the way from the rhythm, because I always have those 7 notes and I start on the same note and I end on, so therefore, even though I'm matching kind of the motion and the walking style, it has still too much character from me personally. And sometimes I'm really bothered with that. So that's what I'm focusing right now on to get better at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's do the woman. For example, for a male, I would rather than walk more on the side like that, or even like that. Whereas for a woman, more like that, so that I get more of that flappy kind of thing. Like very fine kind of heely, you know? That's my high heel basically, you know? But real high heels I can't.
Not yet.
Well, I guess the whole point is to make it sound like, you know, you would expect not, it doesn't have to be with the actual, you know, shoe.
This Australian movie, Ladies in Black or Women in Black, all the women have those heely shoes in that film, and I think that the sound is extremely good. So I would love to get in touch with the guy who did that, because they mastered it basically, how to do those footsteps. That is another shoe that is more like in the middle of everything, because it has like the booty kind of thing, but I can also make it a little bit click here, and depending on where I'm recording. So we could now, for example, just go on that surface for this guy in order to make it a bit more indirect. You can try that. Especially when you're editing later on, I always focus on the shoulder and put the markers in there.
Oh, gotcha.
When you don't see the actual foot, you know, on the ground. Yeah. But it's more like a natural thing, you know. And I luckily had that from the very beginning, this kind of understanding like how a person walks, and I could do the motion from the very beginning. Of course, training is needed, but some people also don't have that. They cannot really just follow some motion, and then it's really hard to become a Foley artist.
You're basically dancing in a visual sense. You're seeing what you dance the motion on.
Yeah. But it's also this anticipation, you know. I know how this person might continue moving, so I don't have to even watch it. I can do it like without having seen it. I can do it. I hope you could gain some inspiration for your own networking and how you could think out of the box in order to up your game and to bring more people into your circle. If you're looking for help with that, you're most welcome to write me a DM on Instagram quoting the word industry, and then you can set up a 20-minute roadmap call with me, and then we could think about you joining the Foley Guild, my private mentorship community. You can join there and have a year of mentoring with me. And other than that, you're invited to the next Game Audio BBQ that is inshallah happening in 2026 after Gamescom on the Saturday. Mark that in your calendars if you will be in Cologne for Gamescom and DevCom. So yeah, having said that, enjoy one of the next videos. Peace.